welcome to our third update of our renovation process. We are outside today because one of the important things that's happened over the last couple of weeks has been the construction of our new entryway. The entryway was very important to us because we had a lot of doors, we had a lot of different ways that people were coming into the church, and we wanted to make sure that we had a sense of all of us coming together as a parish community. And having a significant entryway was an important part of that. So you see we have now this whole new, what will be a beautiful structure, a nice little patio out here and stairway to come into our main entryway. So when people pull up here to the church, they'll have no doubt how they enter our church. There's also a handicap ramp that'll allow people not only to come and enter the doors, which will be on this side and this side here, but there's enough room for a person in a wheelchair to come here and be out front, whether it be a part of the gathering before a funeral or a wedding, or just to be able to greet one of the priests standing out here. There'll be handicap accessibility to come up here on this main entryway on the way to the church. So we have some wonderful shots of the work that's been going on in progress to build this entryway, and we're going to go inside right now on the other side, because once we finish this frame, we'll take down the walls and we'll have our entrance right into the gathering space. So we'll go around to the other side and take a look at the perspective on the other side into our gathering space. We're now on the other side of this temporary wall. The outside was our new entryway. We're now into our gathering space. And just as the new entryway was important to say that everyone was coming together from our parking lot into the church, this gathering space is a part of that as well, that we're all coming together in our gathering area before we enter the church. We're coming together as one. That's what the Eucharist does for us. It brings us together as one. So here we are in our gathering space, a place for us to gather before Mass, to greet one another, a place to greet one another, and maybe have a reception or different kinds of meetings after Mass. Here in the gathering space, we have two new handicap accessible restrooms. We'll also have a room where we're able to prepare for the hospitality we'd like to be able to do here. And there'll also be a new sacristy for our altar servers, renovating one of our closets to become a sacristy for a place for them to prepare and the other ministers to prepare. And then they'll come meet the priest here in the gathering space. So even the ministers for Mass will be gathering here together. It's a very important symbolic expression of what we've tried to do throughout this renovation. The sense of newness of life, the sense of all of us coming together for this new time. So that is what our renovated church is helping us to do as well. So we're going to take a look around the gathering space, and then we're going to enter into the church and see some of the renovation work that's been happening over the last couple of weeks here in the church. So here we are at one of our entrances from Fordham Avenue. So this door is still going to be here. People are still going to come into the church this way. But what I wanted to show you is this is our new altar server sacristy, formed from a closet. It has now become a nice bright room for our altar servers to get ready for Mass in. It'll also be a place for some of the other ministers to come and get themselves ready, a place where everybody can sign in. And it's really going to help us to know who's here and that we're all here on time, we're all ready to start Mass together. Our sacristy up front was always very small, so by giving the altar servers their own place to get ready and the other ministers to join them, it'll help us to prepare ourselves for Mass a little bit better. So this is the back wall, so to speak, of the gathering space. I'm looking straight out into the church right now. And here along the back wall, down this short hallway on this side, and down the short hallway on the other side, are our new restrooms, handicap accessible restrooms. Very important part of the whole renovation process that we wanted to have. First of all, restrooms that were accessible to those who had handicap disabilities, so wheelchairs could get in and be a nice and movable place for them, but also to take our use of the restrooms out of the church space. So if people do need to use the restrooms during Mass or any other celebration, they can come here into the gathering space out of the celebration of Mass. You know, a lot of times when we celebrate Mass, people will have to cut right in front of the altar. So now using our restrooms will take us out of the active place of worship, and will also be very functional and helpful to those who needed handicapped accessible restrooms. So you can see taking shape here now is the wall that will separate the gathering space from the church, the narthex wall, we call it in church language. It'll be a wood wall with glass windows, and it'll be an opportunity for us to come together once again through one entryway into the church. The rest of the wall is being fabricated at the studios of our designer, so that will be coming to shape in the next couple of weeks as well. But if you can imagine, the main doors will be right here, and we'll enter into our renovated church. So we wanted to give you a chance to take a look at our sanctuary platform, which was taking shape during our last video presentation, but some of the decking has been put down, the stairs have been put in place, our ramp has been put in place. The sanctuary is obviously the focal point of our celebration of Mass here, and you can now see that we have a nice, sizable sanctuary that really says how important, how significant what happens here is to all of us. Where I'm standing right now is right about where the altar itself will be. The pulpit will be over here, and the presider's chair will be a little bit behind it. We'll have a stand for the musicians and the cantors to be proclaiming from, and our whole music ministry will be over here off to the side as well. So they're very much a part of what happens here in the sanctuary, and we're very much connected to what we see here. The wall behind the sanctuary is almost complete. The missing piece right now is what's happening back at the shop once again. A special wall is being fabricated for the tabernacle. Our altar will be made of granite. The stand that the tabernacle is going to be on is made of granite, and the granite is going to be incorporated into our other pieces that we'll be bringing back. Our pulpit, the presider's chair, and the music stand will all have granite in it to tie it together and give us a sense of the sacredness of this space as well. So the sanctuary continues to take shape, and obviously it is a significant part of the renovation. We're also going to take a look over to my right now. We saw the last time we saw the confessionals taking shape, and they are on that journey continued, and we'll take a look at the fact that they are now sheetrocked in, and you'll be able to see what they'll be looking like for us. So you can see the sheetrock really helps us to see the picture coming together. Last time we showed you the framing of the confessionals, but now you can see the significant size of our new reconciliation chapels, or confessionals as we call them. They are set aside here in the area where the original confessionals were. And this whole area of the church is, I think, going to be a place where people feel a little bit more recollected and prayerful, a little separated from the main part of the church, a place for people to come to maybe pray a little more quietly, but also it leans itself now toward a quiet place for people to come and celebrate the sacrament of reconciliation. So here are the rooms here being formed, and we look forward to seeing that progress continue. So we did have the opportunity to see some of the new progress here, and we continue to pray for the progress to continue, the work to be done. And as I announced this week in the bulletin, and we're going to continue to look forward to that date, our date of dedication is April 20th. So put that on your calendars. That whole weekend is going to be a weekend celebration. So Saturday, April 20th at 11 a.m., Bishop Murphy is going to be here to dedicate our renovated church. But the whole weekend will be an opportunity for us to celebrate the newness of life that we have. So hopefully you put that on your calendar. And I just wanted to finish by saying we did take a look at a lot of new things here. And we were not able to see the majority of the work that's happened over the last few weeks, because a lot of what's happened is what's underneath and what's real important. So there's been a lot of electrical work that's been done. A lot of duct work has been done. Our necessary alterations for our sound system. And of course the sheetrock. And I was just thinking about that as a good sign for what we're trying to do throughout this season of Lent. Renovating ourselves for Lent, under construction for Lent. If we don't pay attention to what's going on inside ourselves, what's outside isn't going to be as important. So we've spent a good deal of time over the last couple of weeks working on the infrastructure of our new church. When we walk in here, we're going to see beautiful things, but it's important for us to know that good quality things have been done underneath. So that's what I challenge you to continue to think about throughout these days of Lent, to keep working on what's on the inside. So what is on the outside, when we get to that joyful day of Easter, is reflective of the good work that God has been doing in us, the good work that God has been doing in this renovation process. We look forward to sharing with you in a few more weeks some of the great progress in the renovation of Holy Family Church.